You're just numbing it out. And see, that was me for over a decade of my life. When things were going bad in my life, I was drinking a lot, I was taking pills, I was smoking weed every day, and it was just to get through the day. But I didn't grow, I didn't change, I didn't mature. Emotionally, I just stayed stuck. And I was an adolescent, right? I'm not just here to endure the stressful moments, I'm here to thrive and grow through them. There's a big difference. When your frequency elevates, you go from being a victim in life to being somebody that figures shit out. You become a solution-oriented thinker. You become a conqueror. No matter what you're going through, you have the ability to make a shift in how you see those events and how you take action based on those events. That's the difference between winners and losers. Welcome back to another episode of the Unstoppable Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Crane. And real quick, this is going to be a great message for anybody that's experiencing stress or has dealt with stress in their life. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, if you're a human being, you've probably had some stress at some point or another. Now, I want to tell you this. We're all going to go through adversity and experience stress and pressure in our lives, especially if you're growing a business, especially if you're raising kids, especially if you're married. It's just inevitable, right? The way that you react to those situations is everything. You see, I see a lot of guys who, when they're stressed out, they try to check out. They smoke some weed, they take a pill, they go have a drink. They just want to try to numb the stress. That doesn't actually resolve the issue. So if you're somebody that turns to the bottle or a pill, or you have some coping mechanism for how you process or deal with stress, you're not actually dealing with it. You're just numbing it out. And see, that was me for over a decade of my life. When things were going bad in my life, I was drinking a lot, I was taking pills, I was smoking weed every day, and it was just to get through the day. But I didn't grow, I didn't change, I didn't mature. Emotionally, I just stayed stuck. And I was an adolescent, right? So when you do that, there's no actual growth that's acquired. So since coming home from prison and changing my life, I've been building a business, I've been raising young kids, having a family with my wife, Jessica. And it's not been easy, but dude, I always am tapped into gratitude. So every day I'm extremely grateful. It doesn't mean I'm immune to stressful situations. And if you're a business owner and you've gone through stuff, whether it's finances or scaling your business or building a team, you understand the stress that comes with that. If you've raised young children and you've had multiple children, we had 2 back-to-back, right? You understand the stress that goes into raising children. I'm somebody that handles stress very well because of my life circumstances, but even me, at certain times, I feel the effects of external circumstances in my life. And recently I had a situation that was stressing me out. And dude, I do the same thing every day. So I want you to pay attention. I do the same thing every time I'm feeling stressed out. There's 2 things that I do. And if you do them, I promise you it's going to help you not only to get through stressful times, but to actually learn and grow through those moments. There's a big difference. I'm not just here to endure the stressful moments. I'm here to thrive and grow through them. There's a big difference. In fact, the most growth I've acquired in my life, the best learning lessons where I can actually see myself develop and change come in the face of adversity, come in the moments where you're feeling stressed and you're under pressure because you're forced to think differently. You're forced to pivot. You got to react. You got to adapt. That's when you freaking evolve, okay? And so one thing that I always do, and you probably can relate to this. Have you ever got up in the morning and your mind's just racing? Right away, you open your eyes and there's something that's weighing on you in your life. Maybe it's some financial issues. Maybe it's a relationship thing. Whatever it is, I work with a lot of business owners. So in slow times of business, they wake up constantly and they're just dreading, that slow season in business. And they're worried about the revenue and payroll and all this stuff, right? And it's exacerbating. So this has happened to me many times. You wake up and you have all these racing thoughts. You're negative, you're pessimistic, you have anxiety, your chest is tight. You're like, fuck, man, right? Well, what I do is I get my butt in the gym. I get to the gym as quickly as I possibly can because I know in the gym I can change my frequency. I can change my perspective. And what I mean by that is you go to the gym and you have, 99 problems, right? Let's quote Jay-Z, that freaking weirdo. So you got 99 problems, right? You leave the gym and you got 99 solutions. And that's what happens. You go to the gym, you have all these racing thoughts. You're negative, you're pessimistic, you're just exacerbated by these things. What happens to me in the gym is I start working out and I take that aggression or that frustration, I channel it into every lift, every movement, everything I'm doing. I'm lifting heavy weight, I'm pushing myself, I'm setting PRs. I'm like, I'm gonna crush this workout. I'm gonna take all this angst that I feel and channel it into positive action, right? And so in the midst of that workout, I'm sweating, I'm breathing hard, and suddenly I'm not thinking about problems. Suddenly, I almost actually start laughing at myself for being so upset or irritable earlier in the morning, right? But what happens is I start to see solutions to all those problems because my frequency is elevated, right? When your frequency elevates, you go from being a victim in life to being somebody that figures shit out. You become a solution-oriented thinker. You become a conqueror, right? And so that's why the gym is such a powerful tool, because nothing else can really create that type of shift in you that quickly. I'm telling you, 30 minutes into my workout, suddenly I'm starting to see solutions to every problem. I know exactly what I'm going to do, how I'm going to pivot, what I'm going to change. And even if I can't change anything, check this out, because there's two ways that you deal with stress in life. Number one, you change your circumstances. So you get away from the person that's pissing you off. You go to the gym and work out, whatever, like I was doing, and then you find a solution, like a thing that you can actually change. Or you change your perspective and your attitude around that situation. You change your emotional response. So the gym is multifaceted because, number one, you come up with new ideas. Blood flow to the brain, just getting off your phone, just being in the moment. That's conducive to creative thoughts and ideas, okay? But the second thing is it allows you to shift your emotional response to those stressful things in life. So now you're not feeling like a victim, you're not exacerbated, you're not angry. You can almost laugh at the situation, right? And I do this all the time. I start laughing at myself for even feeling that way. I'm like, dude, that's trivial, that's silly. Like, this is how I'm gonna get through it. This is what I'm gonna do. This is the recourse. And, in that moment, you create a paradigm shift. And not just that, dude, but I start looking at all my problems, and the second thing I do when I'm stressed out is I start to thank God for those situations. I truly do. I say, thank you, God, for putting these things in my path so that I can become a better version of myself, so I can get stronger, so I can be more resourceful, so I can become just tougher, right? So that I can develop some attributes that I wouldn't have developed had you not put me in this situation that will serve me in my life. I always do this. I thank God. Dude, what do people talk about from stage? The documentaries that you watch about celebrities, famous people, athletes. What is the story? What are the movies that you watch? It's all about people that have gone through adversity and didn't quit and give up. And at the other end of that experience, they have a story to tell. They have value to provide because they learned something through those moments. They grew into an individual that they never would have become. They morphed, they evolved into a better version of themselves. That's what I do, man, when I'm feeling stress. I go to the gym because it's going to change my frequency. It's going to change my mindset. Then I start to see things differently and I find solutions. I check myself emotionally and I start to feel differently about the situation. And then I thank God for those moments because I know that they're shaping me into a better man. And that's how I've been able to use adversity and stress and all the things I've gone through in my life to my advantage. And you can actually take those moments and turn them into assets that serve you versus negative experiences that defeat you. But you won't be able to do that if you're not able to shift your energy and your paradigm and you're not able to see the bigger picture of why those things are happening to you, right? Let's quote Ed Milet to cap this one off, right? And I just totally forgot the quote. It goes, it's not about what's happening to you. Like life is happening for you, right? And he says it in a more eloquent way, but life is not what's happening to you. It's about what's happening for you. And it's just like the person that says, I get to versus I have to. You have a choice in the way you talk to yourself, and that affects the way you see the world. The way you see the world affects the way that you emotionally react and your subsequent actions. This is how you take control of yourself. This is how you take control of your life. No matter what you're going through, you have the ability to make a shift in how you see those events and how you take action based on those events. That's the difference between winners and losers. I want to see you win in this life. Let's go, baby.